So crunch time for us right now, coming off of a weekend where our results was not what we wanted it to be, but there were a lot of positives for us to continue to build on. It's just at the time right now, it's not easy for your team to deal with the skid that we have, but you got to look at the positives and what you do see. You got to continue to work your way out of it. And that's one of the things that I am proud of our group is that they're still trying to work through it all. But I think that there, are two areas where we got to continue to work, continue to build on and be better at. And it's us being able to defend for 40 minutes in different critical positions and possessions of games, and rebounding. Those have been things that has hindered us, which also affects other parts of the game with us being able to execute. And so, teams go through this. And I think that for us is that to understand that you still have more basketball to play. It's March Madness. We're getting ready for Senior Day this week to come up. And so I'm very optimistic, and I'm going to continue to keep teaching. This group is going to continue to keep working. We're still a very good basketball team, but teams go through this. And you got to show some resiliency to kind of push through it all. And our kids, I know for a fact, will show up and do that.
Piggybacking off of you mentioned the skid that you guys are on. Mm-hmm. How big, or is there any sense of urgency within the team to get this win on Saturday?
Yeah, it has to be. We have to have a sense of urgency. It's about momentum. As you get ready to go into the WAC tournament, you're at home. This is your last, home game, and you've played very well on your home floor, and your fans deserve that. And then you want to send your seniors out on a high note. One for our seniors is what is your legacy going to be? How are you going to be remembered, your last game in the CPC? And then for, your underclassmen, you want to send your seniors out, in the best way possible, before, we head out to Vegas. And so there's a lot of things riding on this. It's your pride. It's understanding that, again, we got to correct some things. Habits have to be corrected, as I've talked about. And so, we're not going to shy away from it. But I think, ultimately, like I said before, there were a lot of things that I felt like we did that we looked like ourselves in that game against Abilene Christian. It was unfortunate, like I said before, it's a 3-point game. And, we didn't execute the way we needed to. And so that game was winnable. And it is. It's tough to win on the road. It's a very, very good conference. And so you got to be able to figure out how you can stop, sliding and preventing those. But, hey, we have not, but we got to continue to keep working at it. We're not going to make excuses, and I won't let them do it.
You talk about, Senior Day coming up, of course, but how much of a relief is it as a coach to know you have the veteran leadership on the court when, they just have each other?
Yeah, I think it's important, but I will tell you, from top to bottom, I feel like our kids do a very good job of holding each other accountable. And starting with those seniors, again, I just talked to them about, again, what is your legacy going to be? Because that's the only thing that you have left that's going to be here when you're wearing this jersey. It's going to be the last time you wear a jersey here on this floor. And so it's got to mean something to you. It can't say, okay, it can't speak it. You got to walk it, you got to talk it, you got to have some action with it. And so, and so I feel like they're going to do that. And so it does help you when you do have senior leaderships who've been there, but from top to bottom, they got to want it.
This team is at its best when it's clicking on all cylinders, including the 3-point shot when that's falling. So how important is it that you guys, start shooting better from three heading into the tournament? Well,
I think it's a great question that you just asked. I think it's important that we understand, like you said, when we're clicking, what does that look like for us? For us, right, is communicating at a high level, right? It's flying around, it's rebounding, it's defending, and offensively executing the things that we need to do. When we have 4 or 5, I think it was in double figures at Abilene Christian. Yeah, those are things we got to continue to keep doing. And teams are going to give you that. Like, teams are going to give us those 3-point shots. We got to knock those down. But I think what we got to start to get back to doing is teams adjusting to us. We've been adjusting to other teams. We've got to play how we need to play here, and teams got to adjust to us. And so we have a week right? That we are having to correct some things. About to be smart, how we go about this, and we'll get back on a regularly scheduled program. But I think that is a very, very important piece that you brought up. We got to start clicking. And once we start clicking and getting back to who we are, we're going to be the team that we need to be able to make a strong run here at the end of March. The beginning of March towards the end of March.